Hi there, my name is Taro and I'm an opera director. From October to November of this year, I spent my time in Bonn, which is a lovely city in Germany, and I was hired by the Opera House as a revival director for the production of Die Frau ohne Schatten, for which I assisted Peter Konvichny in Tokyo last year.
Was wir unbedingt brauchen, ja? Pistolen, die aber auch schießen können.
During my time in Japan, I meticulously documented every scene into my director's score, which is something like a storyboard when you create a movie. And whenever there is a revival of a show, it acts as a guide to stage the production again. It was for me my first time to be a revival director, and Peter Konvichny gave me the permission to direct the show entirely on my own in the first 2 rehearsal weeks, so that he can come after and continue adding some details. I was a bit nervous, to tell the truth, as it was my first time ever to be a revival director, and I felt a lot of pressure because a big part of the production was now in my responsibility. Luckily, I had my director's score with me, and that was the moment I realized how amazing and unique this way of documenting is. I even recently happened to show it at a friend's party, and I was the only weird person involved in opera there. But suddenly there were so many curious people gathered around, and they all wanted to know more about my work and about opera in general. And that gave me the idea to make an in-depth video about the director's score. So I decided to take 2 pages of this piece and explain everything that's relevant to understand the scene. So if you enjoy music, art and some behind-the-scenes stuff, sit back and enjoy this video. So this is the director's score. It's huge and it's just one act. And so as you can see, on one side you have the piano score, and on the other side is an empty space for us to write the storyboard. So I think what makes opera so special is that you have the music as your driving force throughout the entire show. And once it starts, there's no way back. So you can't stop it anymore. So that's why a lot of things have to happen very precisely to the music. Now this is an old director's score that I used to assist for Le Nozze di Figaro, and yeah, this is just the first half, and the second half is also this big. I once had to carry around 6 kilos of director's scores to Japan and back, and since then I switched to an iPad. Here we have the piano score with the singing parts of each character with their text, and here a simplified version of what the orchestra is playing. Simplified because this is the real orchestra score. So this is what the conductor is actually looking at while moving around his baton. Did you know that the baton in French is called baguette de chef? And in Japan they call it makizi. On the left side I usually draw the floor plan of the stage first, and then every character and props. So we have some walls here, a turntable, and then we also have a Mercedes there. Now to the characters. We have 2 prostitutes walking around, so P1 and P2. A mafia boss called Kaikobat, let's use KK for that, and with 2 of his bodyguards, B1 and B2. And they're hiding in the back with a suitcase with $2 million in it. There are 3 other bodyguards, but they are dead already, and in front of the Mercedes are 2 singers portraying Amme and Bote. Now the story of Die Frau ohne Schatten is quite complicated, and on top of that Peter Konvichny has changed the original fairy tale setting to a modern world, and I explained a bit of the story and adaptation in my previous video, so you can check it out if you like. So in the beginning of the show there's a shooting, and the Bote has been shot on his waist, and that's why Bote slowly crawls to Amme. Amme hides in front of the car to seek shelter. Bote tells her Kaiserin was 12 months at Kaiser's side, but now she can only stay 3 more days. Amme is joyful. Bote grabs her mouth. He's worried that the person inside the car might hear her. Both look towards the car. Amme thinks, what will happen to the other mafia boss? He will turn to stone. And so with that we have our first leitmotif, which is very dramatic. So he turns to stone. This is the stoning motif. Ame repeats it, looks at Kaikobat and says, "By this I recognize Kaikobat and I bow." And with this we have our second leitmotif, which sounds like this. Also quite dramatic. So this is Kaikobat, the Kaikobat motif. And with this, Ame bows towards Kaikobat, which convinces him that she is still loyal, and he disappears in the back. Bode carelessly opens the door and gets shot by Kaiser, who is in the car. And Bode dies. Rest in peace. I know, it's a lot of information, but it will all make much more sense once we watch the video. By the way, the singer performing Bode here is actually me, because the real singer wasn't available on that rehearsal day, and I always take these moments as an opportunity to jump in and sing. So anyways, without further ado, let's take a look at the video. So, what do you say? When I started out as an assistant, it was quite overwhelming and complicated to read like this, but it got easier the more I used it, and it really made my life easier since I started to use an iPad. A big shout out to Ruxandra Donose, who is singing the role of Ame in this video. She is quite a legend in the opera world, and I was very honored to be able to share the stage with her. And this was again a production which was packed with amazing, heartwarming and lovely people. And I sincerely thank Theater Bonn for allowing me to use these videos so that I can make videos like these in the pursuit to make opera more accessible. If you're interested in watching this show live, there are a few more performances left to see it in person in Bonn. This opera is done quite rarely, and there are so many people coming from far away to watch it, and yeah, the music is really amazing, so I really can understand why people are coming from all over the place to see it. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope this was interesting for you, and see you next time. Bye!